Well, hello. Welcome in, everyone. Happy Wednesday, and welcome to episode number 32 of Cruise Talk Live with my trusty co-host over here, Bill from Warm Strong Adventures, and myself, Scott from Controversial Cruising. How you doing this week, Bill?
I'm doing good. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. I am doing fine. I am finishing up my packing. Friday, I'm out of here. I'm going on another cruise. So the cruise is Saturday, but I'm flying out to Long Beach Friday.
My neck of the woods.
Out your way.
Okay. All right. Well, make sure when you go past Phoenix to wave. I'll wave back. Which ship is this that you're going to be going on?
The Miracle, Carnival Miracle.
Oh, nice.
15-day trip to Hawaii. Should be fun.
Checking off one of those bucket list cruises. I perhaps
been there before. Been there a couple of times, but okay. I enjoy it. Again, we're gonna get into it when we start talking about these ports. Leading into the topic, we're not going to start it yet, but leading into the topic, it's how you get tired of the same ports. So this is just something that I enjoy doing. Carnival gave me a good price. Me and Carnival, we don't get along as far as the ships and designs, and they're thinking of the future and all that. But darn Carnival, they give me good prices, and I got to go with the good prices for now.
There you go. I know we are going to talk a little bit about our favorite and non-favorite cruise ports today. And we're going to keep this kind of interactive too, because I kind of want to hear what our followers have to say here and in the chat too, some of your favorite and non-favorite cruise ports. I am very close to being able to set up a poll, so I'm almost there. But we'll kick it off, and I will ask today's poll, since I am hosting this week. Today's poll will be: do you have favorite ports? And pretty simple. 1, yes, ports are important to me. 2, no, who cares about ports? And 3, sometimes it depends. So I'll let you guys answer that in the chat. And as we do that, I think we'll start to say hi to some people. What do you think, Bill?
Sounds good.
All right, so let's go down in the chat here. We have Mr. Cruise Nuts who came in first. Hello, Cruise Nuts. How we doing, my friend? Welcome in.
Welcome in, Mike.
Scratch and Pete. Hello, Pete. How we doing, my friend?
Pete.
The Bud Files. Hello, Bud. Hello, Warmstrong, he says.
The Bud Files are everywhere, I swear. I thought Pete was everywhere. The Bud Files are literally everywhere.
We appreciate the support. Will G, he says, evening, y'all. Hello, Will G.
Now, Will G, did he just get off? It wasn't like the breeze, or is he going on the breeze in 2 days or something?
I think he's going on the breeze because I know he might have gotten off the Jubilee a week or two before I had.
It seemed like something about I heard about the breeze.
You guys are always going on cruises, man. Can't keep up with you guys.
That's Will G. That's not me. That's Will G.
Antoinette of Fun, she says, hello, everyone. Hello, Antoinette. Thank you for coming in. Our good old solo traveler friend, Marjorie Ambrose. Hello, Marjorie. Welcome in. Thanks for coming in.
Welcome in.
Yeah, we have everyone's favorite nurse, Denise from Bone Tired Travelers. Denise! Thank you for coming on.
It's good!
I love that. I love that. Can't wait till we can do it in person. It's going to happen. Anthony on the Move has come in. Hello, everyone. Well, hello.
Welcome in.
Coming in. The ever so famous Danny D, the spectacular supporter. A wonderful. Yo, she says. What's up, Danny D? Thanks for coming in. And Will says 3 more days until he gets
3 more days.
He said getting on Saturday. So.
Oh, I'm thinking about the same. Okay, we get on the same day. I'll get on Saturday too. In Long Beach. That'll be my cruise date.
Hey, love you both, but you guys are both in KMA territory. So sorry. 3 days till your next cruise. So we are down to the bottom. So what does everybody think about? Oh, actually, I don't even know. I don't know if that's in response to our poll that says 3, sometimes it depends, or 3 days. But either way, that's actually not 3 days. So it's a couple more days than 3 days. So he's getting on Saturday. But Will G says sometimes it depends on ports. For you guys, what do you guys say? Are ports important to you? 1 or 2? No? Who cares about ports? Honestly, that's kind of me. I sound like a grump, but 2, it's kind of me. No, who cares about ports? And 3, sometimes it depends. Where do you stand on this, Warmstrong?
Well, you know what? I'm going to stop. I'm going to get rid of the cruise talk for about 5 seconds.
Okay.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Oh, yes.
Thank you so much for spending your Valentine's Day with us. We appreciate it. You can be our Valentine for the day.
That's right. That's right.
And okay, getting into ports. Ports are important. We all love ports. It's how you rank the ports.
Yes.
And when people hear me talking and they say, "Oh, there's Grumpy Bill and he hates everything," I don't hate everything. I've never been on a bad cruise in my life. Have I had things go wrong? Yeah. Have I had things I didn't like it that much? Sometimes. And ports are kind of the same way. So when you hear my list of my ports, it's what I like in a port now. Not what I liked 20 years ago. Not what I liked last week. What I like right now. And when we start going over the ports, you'll see what I'm talking about as far as what I'm looking for in a port. So are ports important? They can be. We all been through this with the Icon, where the ship was the main thing, even though they had some really nice ports. But for a lot of us, especially if you've cruised 10 times, 15 times, the Caribbean, you've hit a lot of the ports.
I have. Mm-hmm.
And you're seeing the same thing. And as I always said, you can only kiss so many dolphins. You can only, so many different stingrays and all this. So you start looking at the ports and what they have to offer. And my ports, the ones that I like and the ones that I don't like, kind of go along the same line as far as the beauty, the ease of access,
That's big.
And I mean, we're going, go list all these, but those are the kind of things that I look for and where I can just enjoy myself as I get older. Scott, I'm not like you. I don't go running around and raining terror down on the new communities that we go to. I just want to go there and relax. I want to go there, have a drink, have a nice dinner, a little conversation with some of the locals, a beach. If we can roll it all into one, I'm happy.
Hey, honestly, to tell you the truth, I might sound older and older. This last cruise, I hardly even got off the ship. I think I got off the ship maybe an hour and a half in all three ports combined. So it's mattering less and less to me because of these bigger and bigger ships. And I think my interests in 2024 and maybe 2025 are starting to shift and starting to, oddly enough, change, because I used to be a port boy. I love the ports. I mean, 8 o'clock when they were opening the doors, here
Yes.
was me with my hat on and sunscreen, and I'm ready to go. Now I'm like,
If you give me a new port, I'm like that now. If you give me a new port, I want to be first one off. I do a little research on the island. If it's like a new port, if it's I know one of your favorites, Costa Maya. If it's Costa Maya or Cozumel, when I get off, Nassau. When I get off, I get off. Will I still get off? Yeah, I'll get off. But again, give me a new port. I can't wait to get off to go exploring.
see, I still have appreciation for those ports, but I really enjoy, like when I was able to take Keone on his first time out there. I think I had more fulfillment and more joy showing him Cozumel because I knew I could kind of show somebody through new eyes. So,
Well, yeah, and that's kind of like the way I feel. When I take my kids, or when I used to take my kids, and you take them for the first time, even though you've been there, going to Vegas. I just got back from Vegas with my son, and we went out there one time before, but we didn't really spend any time in Vegas. But going out there and letting him going in at night and seeing the lights of the strip as you're coming in on an airplane, and just watching him just being excited about Vegas and going downtown and watching him look at all the crazy people. Not crazy, the different people. We won't go crazy. We'll go different. And just watching them, and it took me back to when I first went down there, when I first started going to Vegas, when I saw the people. I was like, whoa, I like crazy, so I'm right there, and I'll be right there, right next to them, being crazy too. And most people don't think that about me, but that's the way I am. But you have to be careful with that, people.
give Bill a few drinks and start talking about the Lions, and it's over.
Well, again, you would have been down there. We're down in the sports book, and they're going Lions, and if San Francisco fans over here, and we're yelling and screaming back and forth at each other. And in the beginning of the game, the Lions would do so well. Y'all might as well go home now. I mean, it got. But then at the end, it's like, yeah, let me get out of here.
Oh, that's funny. Denise says ports matter, and she echoes on that and says, "I like going to different places." I do
Yep.
too. I
Yep.
absolutely do. But I don't know. For some time, some of these ports that I've just been to over and over, I feel like even though it is kind of different places from me sitting here in Arizona, I can find some different places on these ships because I'm starting to go on ships that I've never been on before, and I'm kind of exploring within the ships, to find these different places because I know if I went out in Cozumel, I'm just gonna end up either spending money or going to the same restaurant and bar that I always go to in Cozumel. So Cozumel, I'm just using Cozumel because I've been there so much, but I still love Cozumel. Don't worry.
I like Cozumel, but I know a lot of people love Cozumel, and I mean, again, I like all ports,
It's a fun.
and to me, all ports are safe. Some are safer than others to walk outside the gate of the ports, but I like all the ports. I like them all. Uh, I just like to do, different things, or kind of just the opposite. I like to go to the beach, listen to some music, and have a beer, and I'm in heaven. Those are some of my favorite ports. So, and we're going to get into my favorite ports, and I think you'll kind of see the pattern of my ports, and even the ports that I say that I don't like, I still like. It's just they're not in my top five. They're the lower half of my ports.
And good evening, Scott McNeil, too. Scott McNeil has come in, my friend. Leonard Family Fun. Hey, stopping in on our way to dinner. Well, we appreciate you, Leonard Family Fun.
Welcome in. Welcome in.
Andre Southgate says full support, Mr. Bill.
Andre, I won some money. I made a bet on that Lopez fight. I won some money. I didn't deserve to win it because he got the what's the name got robbed. Lopez did not win that fight, but I won some money, and I kind of took your advice. I think we were on the same page.
Anthony on the Move says ports are important. I try to do something different if I've been there before. I'd like to hear Anthony because we had just met on the Jubilee that I was just on a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
I'm interested to hear once we start naming these ports. Roatan is definitely going to be on mine, Cozumel and Costa Maya. So I'm interested to hear what you did in those ports. I know I caught you, I believe, in Costa Maya on the way back, it was Costa Maya on the way back. So I'm interested to hear what you did in those ports. Destination Fun says, hello, everyone. Hello, Destination Fun. Appreciate that.
Welcome in.
Denise says, we're doing something different in Cozumel. We don't know what just yet. That's right. Next time I go down there, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something a little bit different too. I actually have a picture of an excursion that they no longer do that I'm going to share with you guys once we get to Cozumel. I did it with my best friend back in 2018, I believe, 17 or 18. Super cool excursion, and it was right there at the port too. Let's see here. Danny D says, "What's up, peeps?" Leonard Family Felon says, 9 days until the Jubilee. Oh, you are gonna love the Jubilee. I just got off.
You are.
I want to go back. Oh, here's something that I've never done actually, Bill. I know it's one of your favorite ports, it's one of my least favorite, but Costa Maya is Maya Chan every time, Denise says. Have you ever been to Maya Chan?
Maya Chan, the temple, is that the temple? I've been there. It's been a while since I've been there, and I think it is something great to do. I don't know if I would do it every time. I know a lot of people don't like Costa Maya, but I actually kind of like it. I think there's a good vibe about it. Is it in my top 5? Well, we'll find out. But again, I don't mind Costa Maya, and it's kind of surprising because I don't like the pool area, and you got a lot of shops and everybody's trying to sell you something. They're not really pushy, but they're all there, and the typical. Come into my shop, buy something. And so they're all kind of pushy like that. But for some reason, Costa Maya, I don't know. I just because everything's right there in that port area, the dolphins, the bird sanctuary, everything's kind of right there, and I kind of like it. I kind of got a feel for it.
Denise says it's an all-inclusive beach. That's kind of what I thought it might have been if it wasn't.
No. See, I thought Maya can't.
It's the Mayan
I have
ruin,
not done that.
Maya Chan, yeah, Maya Chan is like it's like the one in Cozumel, Paradise Beach. But
yeah, Paradise Beach and Mr. Sancho's. Yeah, no, I've never done that in Costa Maya. I'd try that again. I don't mind that, and Mexico doesn't scare me. A lot of people don't want to go outside the gates in the ports. Mexico is not one of those places that, oh no, I don't want to go outside. So I don't mind. I would do that and feel safe and walk around. I mean, I think Costa Maya gets a bad rap from some people.
Scott McNeil says 3 days till the Vista.
Oh, the fresh new dry dock. It should be a good time on the ship.
Should be all renovated and ready to go. Will G says going to El Silo in Cozumel in November. I've actually never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Let us know what that is. Expand just a little bit, Will. Emily has come in. Hello, Emily. I'm 74. She says, good evening, fellas. And hello, cruising peeps.
Emily, she just said something. I think something about Destination Fun. They had a good premiere right before we came on. There was a good premiere. So if you haven't watched Destination Fun premiere yet, after this live, go over there and check her out.
Hashtag replay.
Well, sometime tonight, because I know after this live you got Internet at Fun going live and so things like that. So you got a little homework to do, people.
Little homework, little catching up. Hashtag replay. No pool at Maya Chan, she says. Oh, it's yeah, all inclusive beach. So, the beach.
And I don't mind the beach. I mean, again, a lot of people love the pool. I like the beach. I don't mind getting into a pool. And I haven't been. And one of the omissions I'm going to have from my list, I'm going to let you know ahead of time right now, is Coco K, Perfect Day at Coco K. It's not on my list. And the reason it's not on my list is I haven't been there since they've done the upgrades. I was there a long time ago when it was just a beach. And it was nice. I mean, again, I enjoyed it. It was just a beach. I didn't include it on my list. I have a funny feeling that when I'm going there in April, that when I go there, it probably will be my favorite, just because you have so many things to do there, and for families, for adults, for just people in general.
And you haven't seen it since it's been built up like this.
And I haven't seen it in person. Only what I saw on video. So I think it probably will be my favorite, just because of those options. It doesn't have everything that I like, because again, I like going into the community and in the local neighborhoods and talking and laughing with people. Hopefully they don't rob me or anything like that, but I haven't been robbed yet. And it's been 47 cruises, something like that, 47 cruises. So, and I just really enjoy it. And most of the time, everybody's there having fun with you, while you're out there drinking beers and smoking cigars. And, I got a video coming out, and this guy, he sung one of his own songs for me. And it's back when I was in the Bahamas. So it's coming out. I'm going to try to get all these videos out sometime, people, but it's coming. But that's what I like to do.
Leonard says, Leonard Family Fest says, thanks, Cruz Nutsum. I'm so excited, not just because of the ship, but it's been 2 long years since we've been on a ship or on vacation. Overdue. Definitely overdue. So you guys definitely enjoy. I just gotten off that ship, and I absolutely fell in love. So you guys will love that ship. And Kendall rocked it too. She definitely owns it. Will G says it's a sandbar at the south end of the island, similar to Grand Cayman. Oh,
okay.
One of my favorite ports. Oh. And Will G says there is a pool now at Maya Chan, but it's tiny. It's tiny. Tiny pool. CNS Travel, welcome in. Thanks
welcome in.
All right, Bill. We are down to the end for the most part. Will just says we're just going to a walk to Del Mar Beach Club next week in Cozumel, and Maya Chan at Costa Maya when he's on the breeze. So we are down to the bottom. What is our first port that we are going to kick it off and talk about?
Well, I'm gonna go. Are we going favorites first or least favorites?
Yeah, let's go favorites first. Let's talk about our favorites.
Okay. And what I'm telling you, I'm looking for in my ports are the beauty, ease of access, meaning that I don't want to have to tender in. I want to be able to pull up to a port, get off the ship whenever I want. The activities, on the island or at the port, and do I feel hustled and feel like I'm being harassed at the port by vendors and things like that? So there's certain things I'm looking for. And my first one, you feel like you're in a different area, and it's not the only one, but I haven't been to some ports in a while, so I didn't want to include that. But St. Thomas is going to be probably my number one port, just because it's so easy to walk. You get off the ship, you're like in town, and you're walking around town, and it's just a beautiful port. Not necessarily a beach right there, but the beaches aren't too far away. And I think it's one of the best looking islands in the Caribbean. And there's a couple more, St. Lucia, St. Kitts. Those are, and I kind of put those kind of in the same category. But St. Thomas is my number one island.
So, well, with that too, you're not really going to find a lot of the bigger ships going there. It's going to require a mid-sized to smaller ship to get to a lot of those islands, especially that route.
Yep.
St. Kitts and St. Thomas.
Yep.
that is one thing to also keep in mind too. I haven't been to St. Thomas. I think, or I haven't been to St. Thomas probably since I was 8 or 9. So I don't remember it too much. I remember the sheer beauty of it, that's for sure. But other than that, I don't remember St. Thomas too much because I've been traveling on two largest ships lately.
Yeah.
And,
Well, I mean, you got beautiful beaches. The people are friendly. You walk around, and it's not like in the port area where where everything is kind of gimmicky. You're walking like around town. You can walk to the local bar. You can walk to the local restaurants and go, a little further out and get the authentic foods. And I mean, I just really love the feel of that place, and I felt very safe. I not once did I ever feel like, oh boy, don't make a turn down that street. I never felt like that.
yeah, that definitely can kind of you know keep the port kind of feeling safe when you stay close. One of my favorite ports, I'll kind of echo off of that. I know it's not in that region, but my probably my number one, if I had to place them in chronological order, I would say Grand Cayman. I know we had just talked about Grand Cayman. I've been there probably 3 or 4 times. I'm a creature of habit when I go out in ports, so I really like going down to 7 Mile Beach. It is a free 7 Mile beach on the outskirts there on the beach in Grand Cayman. One of my favorite bars is perched right there, right up against the beach. It's called Calico Jack's. Whether you are looking to just kind of sit there and have a pina colada and look out at the water, or if you want to start taking shots and just make a ruckus, I mean, you could definitely do that there too. They have really good food. They also have really good drinks. The bartenders are awesome, and again, that whole 7 Mile Beach is all free. Um, and you feel very, very safe. I believe it is a British or English owned colony there. So everything is clean. The streets are clean. The people take pride in that their town is safe, clean. Um, and again, it's one of my favorite ports because again, I can go down there, I can have a few pina coladas, I can take a dip in the water, and then I can go back without spending a ton of money and or anybody harassing you. There's nobody walking around on the beaches over there selling little bracelets or asking you for a couple extra dollars. There's really none of that in Grand Cayman. So that also helps it feel really nice and safe. You can almost see the ship from wherever you're going to go there in Grand Cayman, unless you go on an excursion somewhere. I don't go too many excursions, but yeah, 7 Mile Beach in Grand Cayman probably has to take the cake for me. So
The only thing, again, Grand Cayman, it's like a financial hub. There's like zero unemployment. There's no hustling out there. Nobody's hustling. The cabs aren't hustling. You can't negotiate. This is the price you're going to pay. You're going to pay. You don't bargain in the Grand Cayman. Generally, everybody works. Everybody down there works, and just like you said, there's nobody on the beach hustling chairs and drinks, and nobody's doing that. I mean, you'll have waitresses and stuff like. There's no hustling. The reason it's not higher on my list, and I do love 7 Mile Beach, even though I had a disaster there. I'm not the best swimmer, and it dropped off really steeply on me, and I panicked. But again, the reason it's not higher on my list is because you have to tender in.
yes,
And Grand Cayman gets canceled more than any port that I've ever seen. I mean, I think I've been scheduled 2 or 3 times, the last 2 or 3 times down there. Nope. The wind is 5 miles an hour. Nope, 5 knots. We can't tender in. It's not safe. So it's the most canceled port. So it's not higher on my list because of that, not because of the beauty and not because of the island, because it's definitely one of the safest islands that you're going to go to.
it's a gamble though, because you really do have to go in good weather, otherwise you're just rolling the dice. Are we going to hit Grand Cayman? Or are we not? You're right on that. But all the times that I've been there 3 or 4 times. None of them have been canceled. Knock on wood. So, and I've been looking forward to it every time I see Grand Cayman on the itinerary. Keisha says, hello, Bill and Scott. Good evening, the Beard Master and Young Dragon. You're the dragon.
Why is she calling me the young dragon?
Happy Valentine's Day, Keisha. Carnival Cruise Addicts. Hey, Bill and Scott and everyone in the chat. Hello, CCA. Let's see here. Oh, well, G says St. Thomas takes XL ships. Sea Light Journeys. Hey, Scott and Bill. Hello, Chet. How we doing, my friend?
Welcome in.
And Denise echoes on that. She says, hate that we missed Grand Cayman.
See what I'm talking about?
I hate that for you because I love Grand Cayman. FBTT, it's the family pool, but they opened it to guests. We were there last month. Oh, Najuma has come in. Hello, Najuma Brown.
Welcome in.
Eventual Spirits. Hey, Bill and Scott. She also says hello, everyone in the chat. Thank you for coming in. Oh, yes, that's right. There's no taxes either. I forgot about that. Pretty duty-free port over in Grand Cayman.
Grand Cayman is, I mean, when you can get there, it's a great place. And as I said, they're well-to-do. So everybody works, zero taxes. I mean, if you're going there just to enjoy yourself, that would be a great place to go.
Oh, and the food is so good too over there. Our Dorfdorf Paranormal. Hello. Hey, Bill.
Karen, welcome in.
Scott McNeil says, I've been trying 4 times to get to Grand Cayman.
Right. See, that's why it's lower on my list.
The one time I went to Grand Cayman, everything was closed due to Queen's funeral.
Uh-oh.
I guess that could definitely
well, I can't blame them for that one though. I can't.
Yeah.
That was beyond their control.
Good evening, Bill and Scott and everyone. Hello, Michael.
Welcome in.
Kicked off the Helping Hands for Cruising Lives last week. That was fun too. That live we did, Bill. Cruising Koozies. Hello, Cruising Koozies. Hello. Blanket, hello to all. YouTube has been blocking my comments during lives, trying not to chat too much for a bit. I know I had that in somebody else's live the other day, Carnival Cruise Addicts. It's like, why am I blocked? All right. And okay, so we are down to the bottom. Oh, Chet says we did the Stingray City sandbar with stingrays. Okay, so what is port number 2 on your list, Bill?
Saint Martin. And it's kind of the same as far as St. Thomas, just the beauty of the island, the friendliness of the people. Saint Martin, you have was Dutch and French, portions of the island. Saint Martin and Saint Martin. Anyway, I love going down there and just to go down there and just explore. They have beautiful beaches, not there necessarily at the port, but you have beautiful beaches that you can get to 5-10 minute ride away, which that's one of the negatives, because I like to be able to walk off a ship, walk to a beach, and call it a day. But there's a trade-off, and that's the beauty of the area around there and the sights that you'll see even going to the beach. I just love it. And because you don't go there much, there's still so much more to explore. When I look at like Cozumel and some of these other Nassau and all these other little places around here, you kind of done it. And, you did most of the stuff there. And could you find something else to do? Maybe. But St. Martin is just one of those places that whenever I see a chance to go down there, I try to go on that cruise.
All right. So 2 things for you there so far. Again, I believe I did St. Martin around the same time that I did St. Thomas. So I also haven't been there in quite some time. I think we did that same route, the St. Thomas, St. Martin. Where that was, I was just so young. I was just going along with the parents. But if I ever get a chance to go to St. Martin, I know I definitely want to. This is going to be, so number 2 for me is going to be another smaller port. I actually, even though this is number 2 on my list and I was just there 3 weeks ago, I'm going to share a picture here first. Whoops.
Costa Maya?
Yeah. We didn't get to our not favorite yet. But oops, no, not that. Let me present here. Boom. So this is the red snapper that you can get if you go all the way down off the boat in Roatan to the very last, kind of looks like a yellow house, but they're all kind of little huts there that sell alcohol and um, different things to eat. But if you go all the way down, in particular, a lot of the crew does hang out down here. But it is one of the only places that you can get this fully cooked red snapper. It actually has meat on both sides. So once you are done picking it apart from this side, you basically flip it over and you eat the entire side on the other side. It is about $15 for this. It does come with some French fries. Can't say those were the best, but the red snapper is one of the reasons why I absolutely love going to Roatan. Besides the fact that it is super easy to get right off the ship. You walk yourself right off the ship, and then literally within another 10 steps, you are right there on the beach. And anywhere you go on that small little island of Roatan, unless you take a cab somewhere and go off, you can see the ship from wherever you are, whether you are on that ski lift that takes you for $9 from one end to the next, whether you are walking all the way down to get that fish, you can turn around and you can see the ships at any given point. So again, it makes you feel really safe. There's also not too many people bugging you down there and haggling you about buy this, buy that. There are places that you can go and shop for. They're authentic Belizean and Roatan souvenirs, but nobody is actually, haggling you to sit there and buy. And then there's also a nice bar. I forget exactly what it is, but there's a nice bar right as you get off the ship. So if you want to pregame a little bit before you get to the row of bars, there's a pregame bar there. So always one of my favorite places because I can go out there. I can spend a little bit of money on some red snapper, get a few beers. I think the beers are only like $3 or $2 or something like that. And then you get back on the ship. So Roatan, I'm sorry I didn't get to get off the ship this time. The Jubilee had just gotten me. But normally, anytime I go to Roatan, you can find me all the way down eating that red snapper with my bare hands. I don't use a fork because if you use a fork.
I like Roatan. I don't like Honduras. I mean, again, the port itself, safe.
Yes.
But you can't go outside. Don't go outside. You better be going on an excursion if you go outside in Honduras. So I do like it, but that's one of the reasons why it didn't make my top list. It's like you have a very nice beach area, couple of bars, couple of restaurants. It's up there. It's one of the higher ones. It didn't make my top 5 just because I can't see any more of the island. Pretty much, I'm not going anyplace else in Roatan. I mean, in Honduras, outside those gates. So I'm kind of like that. That's what I'm seeing. That port right there. That's all I'm seeing, and that's why I didn't make my top 5. But it's not one of my lower ones either. Because if all I want to do is grab a drink, sit on the beach, Roatan is the place to be.
Eat a red snapper with your hands. Order another one. Jump in the water. Get another beer. Oh yeah, that's me. That's all I need. That's all I need. Okay, let's see. Let me catch up on the chat real quick. Danny D says she still pooped from the work errand. I know it was quite a run there. I was trying to tune in to as many as I could on my off time, which is slim to none now, and also hiding in the bathroom at work, trying to support the other creators because always got to support everybody if they are doing something for such a great cause like that. Will G says, going to St. Martin next month for the first time. Well,
you'll love it.
Take some pictures and share with us too as well. The Toppers Rum Factory was also a plus in St. Martin. Have you ever done that, Bill?
I've done a rum factory, whether it's Toppers, I don't remember. It's been a little while since I've been there. But that's the beauty of like a place like St. Martin because you can get out into the city, out into the town, and visit the different factories and walk next door and get something to eat. Just certain ones. Ensenada in California. We're doing. I mean, mostly. Well, the ones I picked for the night are from the Caribbean. But like Ensenada, I like walking in Ensenada and Papas and Beers. I think it's called Papas and Beers. Kind of like Senior Frogs, but you have to walk a little ways. And a lot of people don't want to do that walk. If they have to deal with the locals, they don't want to deal with it. And to me, that's part of the beauty of travel is dealing with the locals. And that's why I like ports where I can go out into the community and mingle
and explore. Yeah.
And explore. And, maybe learn a little bit of the language.
That's right.
Some of the words I learned, I might not be able to repeat on the air here, but
I teach dirty words, Bill.
Oh boy.
More than $9, Will G says. I think actually, I remember I haven't been there in a couple years before the last time I didn't get off the ship.
Well, everything has gone up in price.
Probably 14 or 15 now. Anthony on the move says, I did the chairlift this time. First time on the lift. I mainly got if the ship to purchase. Oh, mainly got off the ship to purchase a certain hat. Makes sense. I really wanted to get off, but by the time I looked at my watch and I was doing some reviews on the ship and things like that, I looked at it. I'm gonna make it. Really wish I did.
Even if I only have a little bit of time off the ship, I still get off the ship. So, and Roatan is again when you don't have to tender in, you don't have to worry about being left behind. Roatan is a perfect location.
Tuber Chat has come in. Word up, he says. What's up, Kevin?
Word up. Welcome in, Kevin.
Will G says the free beach is packed when there are two ships there. Yeah, it is.
Another one of the problems is because you have to walk further down.
Yes. By where I get my red snapper.
That's where you have to walk down. Where you get the red snapper from?
Let's hang out with the crew. You recognize half of them from the ship. Jennifer from Embarkation Nation says hello, everyone. Hello, Jennifer. Welcome in.
Jennifer.
Okay, cool. We are down to the bottom. What is number 3 for you, Mr. Bill?
Well, this one just moved up on my count. And this one wasn't on there. This is the first year that, within the last 4 months or whatever, I just went here and it just moved up. A lot of it has to do because I haven't been there a whole lot, but it has everything that I like to do without crowds. And that is MSC's private island, Ocean Key.
Oh,
Ocean Key. And when I went there, the ship stayed late. So we're actually on the beach in, 80-degree weather, having a beach party and everybody was having a blast. Not everybody, because a lot of people, when it got dark, going back on the ship, I'm going back on the ship. But no, if you came off the ship, you would have had a blast. Anywho, I got to stop saying anywho. That has moved up to like number 3. I could go there. You dock there, you get off the ship, you walk to take you to the other side of the island. They have this little train that they would not train, like a tram, little car with a couple of cars behind it. And it's to me, it's if you want to sit down there and enjoy a beach and have a drink, it's like the perfect place.
It kind of sounds like almost like a Bermuda to me, where you stay late at night. There's a beach party.
Yeah.
I know you don't stay overnight, but in Bermuda you might, but in the Ocean Key you don't. Because I don't know that there's too many ports that kind of throw those night beach parties, because there's not a lot of ports that you stay late at night in like that. So
I haven't been to Bermuda in a while, but yeah, it kind of gives you that vibe. Maybe like Bimini, if you have Bimini and it was late, where you go down and you have like where it's not overcrowded and a drink. Bimini, you have a few more hustlers and people trying to sell you stuff than Ocean Key. But that is my number 3.
But yeah, I don't know, something about partying in Bimini. I feel like, once they put all their like, little souvenir stuffs away, and if they locals were to party on the beach, I bet that would be a fun beach party.
Bimini is fun. You got to get away from the tourist area. Bimini is fun. Little
So
small town, very friendly people. Bimini is fun.
they're that's definitely on my list too. But number 3 for me, I'm actually going to share some pictures here, and I don't know how many people in the chat are going to get mad at me if I do this, but I am going to group these all as a whole. So my number 3 favorite port is Alaska. So let me share a picture here of my last time in Alaska with my uncle. I'll share this one first. We were the only cruise to be blessed enough to see the Aurora Borealis, aka the Northern Lights. And I mean, our ship almost tipped over because they made an announcement at 3 o'clock in the morning that the Aurora Borealis was out for everybody to see. We had about 2,000 people, no, maybe not 2,000, about 1,000 people run up, including staff, including kids, including parents, including people half dressed, and everybody decided to run to the back of the ship to take their videos and take their photos. You can kind of see there the whole ship, even though it looks like lights, those are actually all people's heads because they are all taking pictures. I actually went up on the top deck, one above, to take this picture, and you can see how bright it actually was. I never knew that I needed to go to Alaska until I went to Alaska. And that is why I'm grouping them all together. I have one other picture to share. This is actually from the fjord, where you actually do not even get off the boat. We were able to get up really, really close to the fjord because we were towards the end of the season. You can see there's almost no ice or no snow on the mountains there in the background. Well, in the back, yes. But right here in the front where the fjord was, you can only see the little pieces of the floating, I guess, icebergs, as you can say. So we got up really, really close, and I stood out here, I remember, in the afternoon, and I was outside. I found a really serene deck 7 where nobody was, and I sat in a lawn chair out there, and I was just breathing in the Alaska air for 45 minutes. And with no phone, no silent, I just sat there, and I just in the nose, out the mouth, in the nose, out the mouth. And what that did for the psyche and what that did for my body, I can't even put into words. So I never knew I needed to go to Alaska. There was a lot more pictures that I could have shared here. But again, as a whole, Alaska altogether, Skagway, Juneau, the Norwegian fjords, all of it. They were all amazing ports. They all fall in number 3 because uniquely enough, you can go out there, you can explore, you can walk the town. Again, you can still see the ships. You can go out and enjoy some Alaskan brewed beer. Again, if I'm going to drink a beer, I really like to enjoy something local. I like a story behind it. I like knowing that it came right from the port of Juneau or right from the port of Skagway or something like that. And you definitely have that hometown feel where everybody kind of wants to talk and tell you about Alaska, the history there. And boy, oh boy, is there a lot of rich history in Alaska. And I was one bah humbug, like, I don't have a girlfriend. I don't want to go to Alaska. Who am I going to share it with? I don't want to go to somewhere cold. And honestly, I'm trying to think of every year how I can get back there. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I'm trying to think every year how I can get back there. So probably should have been a little bit higher, but right now it falls number 3 probably until I go again. So
now, if I was trying to stay to the Caribbean, but Alaska is definitely, it would be in my top 5, as you say, if you kind of group them all together. But my number 1 would be the French Polynesian Islands, Moorea and Numia, Tahiti. Though that place was unreal, and I thought Alaska was that place where it's like wow, this is breathtaking. The French Polynesian Islands, if you guys ever get a chance to go, I mean, it's like almost like stepping back into time in a Jurassic Park with the greenery of the mountains and the lushness of the forest. Um, Beautiful beaches. I mean, and the water is warm. I mean, it's perfect. I mean, now Numia, they did have to shut the beach down because of sharks, but anywho, that was the most beautiful place. My list was going to be based on on the Caribbean, but Alaska definitely is. It's two or three at the lowest, because Alaska again, and it's a United States port, so your phone works. I mean, everything works, and speak the language. I mean, it's a lot of fun in Alaska.
What ship did you go to the French Polynesian Islands on?
I did it on the Luminosa and Splendor.
Oh, interesting. Wow. Okay.
Yep.
That is something I might have to look into. I did not think it was going to be a Carnival ship. That is
Yeah, no,
very
it was a Trans-Pacific
okay.
cruise.
Okay.
But again, they do have some that go to at least Tahiti and Moorea from Australia. So you still have to fly over to Australia. You're not getting it from Seattle.
That's okay. I can go high five Sean.
There you go.
Cruisers. Sherry says that it's so cool. Sherry, it really was. Honestly, I know we were talking about it on the cruise for the first couple of days, and everybody was like, "You think we're gonna see it? We think we're gonna see it." And I don't know why I was up so late that night. I was up. I wasn't even looking for it, to tell you the truth. And it started about 1 o'clock, and they didn't make that announcement until about 2:45. And Neil came on very quietly, because I mean, you hear somebody at 2:45 come over the loudspeaker, not usually a good thing. So he came on very quietly and said, "I don't want to wake anybody up, but I think you guys should get up." And oh, actually, no, it wasn't Neil. It was Emily. Emily, the naturalist, made
Naturalist.
Yeah, that's right. And Neil came up. I saw him running in his pajamas. I think he came up to take pictures. His mom was on that cruise. She came up too as well. So
Nice.
he says, "Oh man, that's on my bucket list. It definitely should be. Alaska should be on everybody's bucket
It
list."
should be.
Emily
And
says,
it-
"Great photo, Scott." Keisha says, "So beautiful. It really was, especially that fjord. The air was just so crisp, so clean. It was Scotty, I'm surprised no one has told you to go to Alaska. I luckily for my best friend being contracted there, I know he didn't want to be there, but he was the reason why I ended up going to Alaska. Well, the other reason was my uncle had a really good casino deal, so we got to go on the Luminosa. But yeah, it was amazing. That's actually going to be a somewhat of a trivia question, Em. So at the end of my series, which I have like 2 more, I'm going to ask how many you think I got, and then the closest guesser is going to get something cool, something duck related and cool. And Sherry says, we loved Alaska. And Danny D says 3. It depends on what they have and the shopping. So number 4, Bill, what do you have for number 4? My next 2 are in the Caribbean. So
Number 4 is going to be Amber Cove.
oh,
I love the Dominican, and I know a lot of people don't feel comfortable leaving outside the gate unless they're going on an excursion. But I have a couple of friends down there, and we go down to Puerto Plata, and I always have a blast down there. But I love that port. It's well laid out, tons of things to do. To me, it never feels crowded. You have the pool area, you have the zip lines, you have the huts over the water if you want that, and it feels really well laid out, and it's so beautiful that that is one of my ports when I just want to go off and have a drink and just relax and not leave the port area.
okay. I don't think I've ever been to Amber Cove, the Dominican Republic. I don't think I've ever been to Amber Cove. I think that's one of the few Caribbean ports that I actually have never even been to. Even when I was younger too, it doesn't ring a bell. So I really can't speak on it too much, but I've seen pictures.
Yeah, it's probably about 10 years old. I don't know if Carnival had it built because I used to go down there before while they were building the port, and they were making the lane the street right outside the port. They were building that. It was like a 1-lane street basically, a 2-lane street going back and forth. Then they widened it to support the traffic that the cruise port was going to bring. And but a lot of times, I mean, if I'm going there, I don't even leave the port area. And never hassled by people trying to sell me stuff. I love it. I love Amber Cove.
And Will G says, hello, everyone. Hello, Together We Travel. Thank you for coming in. Michael Ann says, Amber Cove was nice. Took beautiful pictures of the ship from that port. So again, it must be, is it a port that you can kind of see the boat no matter what you're doing?
Yeah, there's a little bar on top of a hill that when you go up there, you can see most of the island almost. It's just, you can just see it. And it's just beautiful.
And Will G says, I enjoy Amber Cove. All right. I have to get myself over to Amber Cove, see if there's any itineraries going over there. Okay.
Swim up bar.
Oh, now you're talking my language. I love swim up bars.
Apparently, Carnival thinks that's innovative too.
All right. So next one. I might get a little heat from this one because we don't stay in this port too long. It is in the U.S., even though it's Caribbean, but it's basically Scott in a port. It is Key West. So the Florida Keys, I know that when you go on a cruise to Key West, they don't stay there for any longer than like 2 p.m. And right at 2 p.m. is when it's getting good. But I have a rule for myself in Key West. I cannot get off the ship unless I have at least 2 shots. Because I make my own fun in Key West. I go down in Key West, and even though there's just a few things open, those few things get a dip of scotch, just a little bit. So I'm not always saying that I get crazy in Key West, but I always get crazy in Key West. So I love just that whole beachy kind of, I know I'm just going to say Jimmy Buffett, but he's not down there. That whole Jimmy Buffett where you can just take a beer and walk down the street. Nobody bothers you. There's nobody trying to sell you anything. People are just enjoying being out there and having drinks and Bloody Marys and just being over by the marinas and seeing the boats. And I don't know. For me, I love Key West. If we could stay there all night and all day, I would say I don't even want to go to the next port because it's usually Jamaica. So if we could just stay in Key West just like 8 hours longer and we'll just scratch Jamaica and we'll come back, cool, I'm down. But I love going to Key West. The only draw is that we have to get on the boat at 2 o'clock. And that's just the time that I'm really getting revved up. So
yeah, Key West, I enjoy Key West. It's not one of my favorites, but whenever I go down there, I always have a good time. It's just, when you get off the ship, you kind of like have to go a ways to get to where you want to be because there's nothing like right there local. I mean, it's like almost like a housing area, not a shopping or not like a downtown area. You have to walk a little ways to get down there to Sloppy Joe's and all the other good places.
Destination Fun says, I haven't been to Key West since college, and maybe I didn't have too much of a party-ish college that, every time I do go to Key West, it feels a little bit like that. And it kind of, I'm like, party like I was in college because I didn't really party when I was in college. So I think that's why Key West has a little slice of my heart. Jennifer says, I really like Key West too. Yeah, I always come back with some beads that I don't know where they came from. I know that's a New Orleans thing, but I always come back with beads from Key West. I always come back with shot glasses around my neck. I always come back with a whole bunch of stuff, hats out of balloons or hats out of foam. And oh man, if you're ever going on a cruise with me to Key West, expect some fun times because I'm first one in line out there in Key West. So let's see here. Together We Travel says the views from the Sky Bar are amazing at Amber Cove.
They are.
All right. And we're down to the bottom. So number 5, Mr. Bill, to round off our list, what do you got for your last favorite port?
San Juan. I love San Juan because it puts you like into it feels like a Latin country, and but it they everybody speaks English.
Yeah.
But you get off the ship, you're in town. You're steps away from in town, and lots of history. I love that aspect of San Juan. And I don't go there a lot. I used to go there more back in the good old days when Carnival used to sell out of San Juan, and then you could take a cruise from San Juan down to Barbados and St. Kitts and St. Lucia on a 7-day cruise. I used to love going down there, and um, San Juan was the uh, perfect port to start the getaway,
Mm.
and I've always loved it. And it hasn't changed. I still, whenever I go down there, and it always seems to drizzle a little bit when I go down there. But again, you just walk, it's nothing bad, and uh, I've always had fun, and the history is just amazing down there for me.
I think the one time I went to San Juan, I think we flew to San Juan. Is that a thing?
Yeah,
Fly
they
San
used to cruise. They used to cruise out of San Juan,
Yeah.
Carnival, but the other ships now that still do.
Yep, that's what it was. That's what it was. It was a Carnival ship out of San Juan. I remember that. I was a little bit older. I was probably 12 or 13 or 14, something like that. But yeah, that's what it was. We flew to San Juan. Um, I know my mom was really scared about San Juan for some reason. I don't know why, but we didn't really do too much in San Juan. But I remember the itinerary of that cruise was a little bit different than what we were used to, but we ended up really enjoying it. But again, that was really a long time ago, so I haven't been there on there in quite some time. All right, let's see. So number five for me, my last port. It's probably going to catch a lot of people by surprise because I kind of talk down about this port a lot. Um, but for me, it's kind of like the pair of shoes that you know exactly how to put on without breaking the back. You don't untie them or anything, but you put them on and you know how to just slide your foot in because you've been in those shoes so many times that you could just bloop and plop them on. Can you guess what I'm talking about?
Well, the shoes sound like Skechers, but
Cozumel. I know. I talk about Cozumel a lot.
yeah,
You would think that it would be my least favorite port, but it is my fifth favorite port. And let me tell you why. Because I know what I'm getting into in Cozumel. I know if I want a good cologne down there, I can always go down there and haggle. I know there's some of my favorite colognes that are here at Macy's and all these other places that I can go, but I can also go and get those same colognes for about half the price, right? Also, go down there. You can also get various different drugs from drugstores, not illegal ones, but various different drugs from drugstores down there. Okay. And you can haggle, right? You can also haggle for some souvenirs. You can also haggle on excursions. And it's just one of those places that I kind of know like the back of my hand. This was also the place that I was talking about this excursion. I don't know if any of you have done this excursion, but it is, I call it an excursion. It's not really an excursion, but right when you got off the port, right in the middle of the port, there used to be a rather large tank of water. It kind of looked like a fish tank, but it was kind of a fish tank for humans. There was no fish in there. What they did was they basically, no, keep trying to invite people. They basically put a air dome on the top of your head that filled with oxygen. That shark behind us is fake, but it is for the picture. And it goes on top of your head there, and they have you do different tumbles and themes and things in the water. And you basically kind of take pictures. You can also take some videos. They drop some different things in the water too, as well, for you to kind of go down and dive and get. This is no longer actually offered in Cozumel. I don't know why, but it used to be right there in the port. Again, steps from the ship. This was, I think I did this particularly three times, I think. But my buddy really wanted to do this. I think this was the second time that I had done it, and we actually got some really good pictures from this excursion. I think they let you go down there for 20 minutes at a time or something like that. 20 minutes. But again, this is an excursion that they no longer offer. But again, Cozumel is just one of those things where I know what I'm getting into. I know where I'm going. I know where the good, authentic food is down there, and I always have a good time. And somehow or another, I always either spend a lot of money or I come back super drunk. So I don't know.
I agree. Cozumel is high on the list too. I am surprised. Well, no, I'm not surprised by the number of people that don't want to go through the gates at the port to go into actually Cozumel. And it's like there's nothing there. I mean, it's just the city. You got people trying to hustle you and sell, this, that, and the other to you. And I always love walking around Cozumel.
Me too. You get cheaper taxis outside the gate. You get cheaper
You do.
souvenirs outside the gate. You get cheaper cigarettes outside the gate. You get cheaper rides out. Everything is cheaper outside the gate. And they're ready to give. I mean, here's the thing too, right? I know there's been some things recently on the news about some things that have happened in, we'll talk about Freeport in a little bit, but, a lot of these ports, right? They live and die by the money that is spent by the tourists. So a lot of these ports protect the tourists because if we're not there and bad things start to happen, crime rate starts to happen and they start forcing us or putting out level 4 warnings where, Cozumel does not. Cozumel is a level 4 warning or something like that, and people are scared to go there. They know people aren't going to get off the ship. They know people aren't going to pump revenue and pump money into that port. And that's what these people are here for. They work in tourism, right? All year long, they're trying to sell us things. They're trying to, take us places in taxis, rent us mopeds and things like that. That's all money that goes back into that port, goes back to their families, of course, too, as well, but goes back into that port and continues to make the port what it is. So, I mean, there's a big risk there for, somebody to do something unlawful that's going to get them on the news like that, so that's where
again, but it's like traveling anywhere.
Of
and
course.
that's what, I find it all, funny that the big news is always like the Bahamas. Oh, they put a warning out about the Bahamas. Would you believe me if I told you the United States had the same threat level as Bahamas? It's a 2. And let's talk to somebody outside the United States. Talk to somebody from Australia. They're scared. Well, we'll just say they're scared to come here to the United States because they think that as soon as they step on U.S. territory, there's going to be some kind of gun battle, and they're not going to go back. People, I mean, again, it's you're from the United States. You've been around cities. You just have to be alert. Just
Yes.
don't do stupid things. The problems that they're having in the Bahamas is gang related. Nowhere near the ports. Nowhere near downtown. Nowhere. It's over in the poverty section of the island where the gangs are fighting over drugs. And if you're not going for drugs, you're not going to have a problem. They're not coming for you.
Yes. And
They
you're
have
not
special
doing excursions that way. Believe me.
yeah. I mean, again, they have a special police force just for the tourist areas. I mean, you don't have to worry. But so many people are afraid. Well, the threat level is the same here in the United States as it is there. It's a 2.
KK's Travel and Education Vlogs. Hello, welcome in.
Welcome in.
Alvin Watkins has come in. #strong, and he says, "Hey everyone." But I mean, okay, so let's kind of flip and talk about some of our least favorite ports here for a little bit. No, actually, Emily is just echoed on that. She said, I have been going to Freeport, Bahamas for over 20 years. I am not afraid to go back if I wanted to. So that was one of the ones that I wanted to kick off here because I had recently just heard, and I don't know if you heard about this, Bill, but in Freeport, Bahamas, there was recently just an incident, and it was at an all-inclusive. So I believe it was 2 friends. I believe it was 2 females. They were there. I don't know why they were there. They were celebrating something. They were on a cruise ship too as well. And apparently what had happened was one of the bartenders from the all-inclusive, I don't exactly know the name. I had just heard it this morning. Slipped something in the girls' drinks. They had both woken up with apparently what they say bruises on them and whatnot. They woke up before they were supposed to get on the cruise. Thank God. They both walked themselves to the cruise. They walked themselves to the infirmary. They got some toxicology reports, and there were some drugs in their system that they did not take themselves or willingly said that they took. So I had heard that this morning, and I know that this happens. It does happen in ports, and sometimes we don't hear about it. But Freeport, definitely for me, and not just because of that, just because there's not really much to do in Freeport, but Freeport just happens to be one of my least favorite ports. I don't know if it's number one, but it's definitely up there. So when I go to Freeport, I usually don't get off in Freeport.
I'm not a big fan of Freeport, but harping on what you were just talking about, incidents happen everywhere.
Everywhere.
But Nassau, you got 8 million people coming there a year. Freeport, you have 2 million people coming there. You're going to have an incident. So again, I'm not naive enough to think that nothing ever happens. You have to be smart. You don't trust the people that you're around, especially if you don't know them. You don't leave your drink, go to the restroom, come back.
Yes.
You watch, if you're going to get a mixed drink, you watch the bartender make your drinks. It's just certain things that you do just to be aware. Not that you have to be afraid, but if you're telling me about, one incident, and how long have, Freeport been going on? How many times have you heard this story? None. So in 10 million people being down there, and you had an incident like this, are you really going to worry about that? Because if that's the case, don't get behind the wheel of a car, because there's been more, accidents. Don't get it in, don't take an airplane down there. Don't ride a horse and carriage. Matter of fact, don't get too close to vending machines, because you'd be surprised the number of deaths that happen because of vending machines every year. So again, if you want to worry about everything, your best bet is probably to stay home. Even then, it's probably a higher risk.
And just stay vigilant as if you were here, as if you were a bar down the street from your house. You wouldn't go to the bathroom and leave an open drink here, right? I'd take it with me. Even though I'm a guy, I don't care. Guy, girl, doesn't matter. Alien, cow. I'm taking my drink. I ain't putting nothing in my drink. I'm taking my drink. And plus, I want to drink it while I'm going to the bathroom. So leave me alone.
Okay, it's TMI. But anyway, getting back to Freeport, there's nothing to do around in the area. Pushy people. If you want to do anything, you have to take a cab. It's just not convenient. So that's why it's one of my least favorite ports.
Oh, it's on your list too.
Yeah, at least actually it's number one.
Nice, mine too. Dahanis Silong, hello, Dahanis, welcome in. Thank you for coming in. M says our place was nowhere near where all that crime was happening. Is good to know. Usually, most of those all-inclusive resorts in those places are not near those places.
Well, all-inclusive. That's everybody that goes down there for a vacation would be there. I mean, the all-inclusive. How are you going to control that?
Mm-hmm.
So can it happen?
Pirates Cove, been there twice. Don't know where Pirates Cove is. I haven't ever been there. Have you ever been to Pirates Cove?
It sounds familiar, but I don't know where it's at. But it sounds familiar.
M says that story made our news. Our New York Cuomo news journalist is helping those ladies. Awesome. Yes, I heard it on the news too. It was definitely a mainstream news that I heard it this morning. M says you have to know where to go in Freeport. Just saying, yeah, and you really do. Same with clubs and bars. Watch your drink. Doesn't matter where it is, United States, whether it's on a cruise port or even if it's on the cruise ship. Still,
exactly.
Doesn't matter. Watch your drink. That's the place. Oh, that's the place where the incident happened. Pirates.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Thank you. I know I saw it as I was going out last night. All right, Bill. So what is another one of your least favorite ports?
Falmouth, Jamaica.
Ooh, Falmouth, Jamaica. Okay. Why?
No, excuse me. Just not a lot to do there, and you can't go outside the gates. The crime is this is one of those places where crime is bad, and I wouldn't go outside. I mean, it's the tourists would get or could get robbed. So I don't feel safe even well, that'd be going to my next one, but any port in Jamaica, all inclusive, fine if you're gated in and fenced in and blocked off, but Falmouth is just like not a whole lot to do there. So if you're not taking a excursion someplace, there's just nothing there. You might as well stay on the ship.
And Anthony says, I agree about Freeport. Only been there once, and it's a no for me. Yeah, Falmouth, Jamaica is definitely. If I'm gonna pick a Jamaica port to go to, and I know you guys are gonna be like, "What?" But I am definitely gonna pick Montego Bay, Jamaica, over Falmouth. I might be a little biased because I do have a friend that is from Montego Bay. So whenever I go there, I feel super safe because I am able to take a tour with her. However, I do know Jamaica in general does get a little bit of a bad rap, especially when you see those guys with those AK-47s by the fence, and I'm sure that
Yeah, right.
anybody feel very very comforting when it's literally right outside the port. So I know a lot of people don't even get off the ship in Jamaica. I know there's been a lot of rumors about Jamaica. I'm just blessed because I do know her. Otherwise, I probably really wouldn't get off in Jamaica because it definitely can be a rough port. And if you want to talk about people haggling you to buy things, I mean, whoo boy, if you don't buy it, I mean, you almost feel like I don't know, they're gonna follow you until you buy it.
Well, I mean, when you follow up the State Department, it's definitely not like like other cities like Cozumel. I mean, there's definitely a problem with crime, and that's near the port area. So going off inside outside the gate, I saw somebody said, Scott McNeil said he had somebody walk him to a restaurant. But yeah, you need to know somebody local. I wouldn't just go off on my own.
Yeah.
And in any place in Jamaica. Matter of fact, two places made it in my list in Jamaica. Ocho Rios was, same thing. I'm not venturing outside the gate at either one of those ports, unless I'm going on an excursion.
Excursion, right? That again, it's one of those ports where I think if you're going to get off the ship, you have to book an excursion. Ocho Rios Falls, like the Dun River Falls,
Yep.
is a really good excursion, a really safe excursion. But otherwise, like what me and Armstrong like to do when we like to go out and explore in the ports, Jamaica, not that type of port. You are not going to find that Key West feel down there. You're not going to find the Grand Cayman feel. That's I'm sure. So it's I hate putting Jamaica on that list, but it definitely is on that list for me too. So, I mean, I love it because I can go on that personal tour with my friend. But other than that, yeah, Jamaica could be a little rough. And, again, seeing those people with the guns and the AK-47s right outside, it's never comforting. So, all right, Bill, my next one, let me, I know this is probably, I don't want to say it's your top 5 favorite, but I'm pretty sure it falls in your top 10. And I might hit a chord here, but my least favorite port, one of my least favorite ports, is Costa Maya. So I had just gone there for the second time, actually, not too long ago on the Jubilee. Okay, so let me just preface here. The reason why I don't like Costa Maya, it's not because it's you don't feel safe. You definitely feel safe. To me, the port itself feels too man-made. It feels like I went off a cruise ship and I got on another cruise ship. I feel like I'm standing on Royal's Lido deck. I mean, you go a little bit deeper, right? One of the only islands that that has a flow rider on it. I mean, you can do the flow rider on the ship on Royal if you go on Royal, and you can get off the ship and in port, you can do the flow rider again. You got the same swim up bar, kind of looks exactly like Royal, right? You got the obstacle course or the bridges where you can kind of walk across, where you see that on Royal. And then, you just have that really man-made Royal feel. And then you even got some live flamingos. and you got some shows with some people going upside down on ropes and flipping around, and you end up spending $100 no matter what. Even if you tell yourself you're not going to spend a dime, you still spend $100 because they get you. And yeah, that's why. Because Costa Maya every single time you get me. And yeah, I feel like I'm getting on a cruise ship from another cruise ship. So I don't know.
Well, again, I don't. I'm not as harsh as you are on Costa Maya. It definitely is. It feels, just made. It's not. There's nothing really authentic there. You're just. It's just a port area. But I don't mind if I want to just to relax and have a drink. I'm not necessarily getting into the pool. The pool just doesn't seem appealing to me. I don't know what they do with the water or what purifies, but it's not clear, and
No, it's not.
it just bothers me every time I look at that pool. Um, there's nothing like right there. Like I see Will G says you have to leave the port area, but again, there's like nothing. There's like nothing there. You have to go someplace else, and it's just not convenient. So I don't hate it as much as you do, but it's not like it's not in my top. Would it be a top 10? Maybe a top 10, maybe.
And it's
But
the
again,
port area of Costa Maya that I'm particularly talking about. I know you can do excursions and
yeah, no,
first
and
time
without doing all the excursions. But even the excursions, you have to drive a ways.
yeah, you do.
Um,
You do. And
and
everything in that port area is so much more expensive. Like, okay,
it
so
is.
I know a couple of you might have watched that short on Richard's page where I got my coffee taken away from the drug dogs. I didn't have any drugs on me, but I got my organic coffee taken away by the drug dogs. So I had to wait until I could hit a port to buy coffee. And I was itching for coffee by Costa Maya. And I went out there and I bought coffee for $19 a pound. And for some reason or another, the bag looked really familiar. I'm like, I bought this before, but I've never bought it from Costa Maya. But I'm desperate and I really want coffee. They were selling it for $11 in Cozumel the next day. I said, and they didn't haggle in Costa Maya. I tried. They were, nope, the prices are the prices. Nope, the
Right.
prices.
Well,
This
they have
isn't
like a kind of a locked in audience. So nope.
Yep. So yeah, and then I actually bought it. I went in Cozumel because I wanted more coffee, and I bought a different brand that I've never seen. So now I have 2 pounds of Mexican coffee with me here at my house. Yeah, I was like, what? I just paid $8 more. Oh, grr. So, yeah. Sorry, anybody that likes Costa Maya, but yeah, I don't know. You don't have my heart, Costa Maya. Will G says you have to take that taxi, Mahana Hall, 10 minutes.
Mahaho.
Oh, here's another one. Here's a good one. Scott McNeil brought up. He says, my worst is Progresso.
That is definitely on my list.
All right. Let's talk about it.
Well, it's the same deal. There's literally nothing around. You got to get in a cab and go somewhere. I mean, I want a place where I get off the ship, I can walk outside the port, or if I'm not walking outside the port, that you have all my activities right there that I can have in the port. And Progresso this doesn't have that. It's some um, little shops. I mean, just a whole lot of nothing, like a whole lot of junk to me. So it is not one of my favorite ports. You
It's
know,
definitely on my top 5 least too, for sure.
yeah.
Progresso, just there's nothing. I'm like, why is this a port? Why do we stop here?
Well, I
What
mean,
goes
again,
on?
you get excursions and go places, but again, sometimes for me, especially now, a lot of times I don't want to do too many excursions.
Right.
Just get off the port, have a drink, go to the beach or a pool area, sit there, relax, listen to some music. Um, and Progresso is one of the worst. As
I
far
usually
as-
want to come back to the ship before the excursions are done. That's why I don't usually do excursions now because they're like 4 or 5 hours long, and they come with lunch or you go here, you go do and it just I'm like I want to go back to the ship already, man. I don't know where I am. I'm like I gotta wait for the bus to take me back there. So yeah, I'm an explorer. I get antsy. I gotta go and explore, and if I want to get up, I want to get up and go to the next bar or go to the next shop or
yeah.
go to the next beach or go to the next chair or something like that. Yep. the excursions are nice, but it's
Yep.
just a long time on a bus. They're
Yep.
back, to the restaurant, and everybody gets off and eats lunch, and then everybody gets back on and eats. And
Right.
it's just so much for me. Mike Lance is going to Progresso in October. From what I've seen, unless I do excursions, not really looking forward to it. Exactly. There's not too much to do there. So, I mean, if you've never been there, I would probably say to book an excursion so you have the experience and you could see, one of the most popular rated excursions there in Progresso and see what you think about it. But again, it's one of those things kind of once you do one excursion, it's like, all right, my boat's in Progresso. I think I'm just going to stay on the ship. But first time there, you should definitely experience it, book an excursion and see how it is for sure. My worst is Belize, CNS says.
That was the last one on my list, Belize. I literally went down there, and again, I go through the gates. Here's the gate right here, and advising you not to go out. I usually try to keep my money in here. I walked out. I probably walked 50 yards outside the gate, and there was a little kid who was playing drums on a bucket or something like that. I gave him $5. And as soon as I walked by him, you see these two older guys coming over there. I'm like, I think I just got that little boy killed. It's like, oh no. Anyway, I walked for, I don't know, 70. I went 50, so about another 25 yards. And I said, no, this is not good. Because it wasn't like a town. I don't know what I was walking into, but it wasn't like a town. And I'm like, let me go back. And I wound up going back. I did not like the area around Belize, and I didn't like the port area. I didn't really like that either. So Belize is one of my worst.
I would I would have to echo on that. I'll say a lot of the experiences that I've had in Belize came before 2016. So Belize was a lot better back years ago. I also had another friend that lived there. He was a diving instructor in Belize. He actually lives in the States now, believe it or not. He met somebody from America on one of his excursions, and they got married, and he moved here. However, the four or five times I've been to Belize, luckily enough, before 2016, before it was too rough, I actually called him every single time. Now, him taking me through the different towns. I mean, I actually went to his house, and to get to his house, I was definitely a little scared. I definitely did some risky things in Belize that I'm like, thank God I'm here in Scottsdale now. But I mean, it was definitely a little rough. It was definitely a little risky. So one gas station he took us to get some drinks and stuff like that. I mean, I hardly call this thing a gas station. I don't even know how people gas their cars up here. But again, you got off, and I mean, everything was probably as big as this desk that I have here, and everything that they sold was like right there. And they asked you what you want, and I was like, I've never even seen anything like this. He took me down to beaches too, as well. He kind of took me on his own little city tour. We went to different, definitely places that you would not be recommended by Carnival to go to get some beers and get some food and things like that. Definitely authentic. But would I do that now here in 2024, even with him? No, because Belize has definitely gotten a lot worse. He doesn't live there anymore. I don't have any more connections over in Belize.
Right.
But yeah, Belize nowadays in 2024, I probably wouldn't even get off the ship. So I'm lucky enough to say that I've seen some of those places back then, and I won't see them again. Michael Lance Spoil Mama says, okay, thanks, Scott. You all very welcome. Do the ruins or the cenotes if you have never been there. That actually is really good advice, Will G. I think the ruins would definitely, the progression ruins, I think that would be
if you need something to do, yes.
Definitely good. CNS says, stay inside those red light bulbs. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's for sure. All right. And all right, Bill, do you have any more on your list that we did?
No, that was my 5.
Yep. And I think that was pretty much my 5. Well, I knew our least favorite was kind of going to be pretty similar. Because honestly, like Bill said, there's there's no real bad ports out there, you know.
Exactly. I mean, again, if I went to one of these ports, I'm not canceling a cruise because I'm going to one of these ports, but I just know it's just limited things that I'm going to be doing in those ports,
Yes.
and those might be some of the ports that I'll stay on the ship and experience what's going on the ship.
I'm an explorer at heart. So whether I can explore on the ship and it's a new ship like the Jubilee and I can enjoy while people are off, or if it's a place like Roatan, or if it's a place like Cozumel a little bit where I can go off and Key West where I can go off and make my own fun and explore and maybe take a turn down somewhere I've never taken a turn down before, but still not get too turned around where I can still the ship is
Right.
right here. I That's what I live for. That's what I live for on cruises now. So I'm a simple kind of guy, kind of a creature of habit. I like exploring, and when I'm too constricted, or I'm stuck in a bus, or I'm somewhere where I don't know where I am, and I don't know how to get back to the ship, I get a little antsy. So I like just kind of free roaming and kind of doing as I like to do, and then retreating back. So. Orange Cone Blog has just come in and says, hey, howdy, hey, from Vegas.
Hey, Ross,
Hello,
Vegas.
Ross.
You gotta love Vegas.
You were just there, Bill.
I was just there, man. I had a good time in Vegas.
Bet you did. Bet you did. All right. So to close this out, Bill, what else do you have going on in the Warm Spring Adventures way?
Warm Strong Adventures. I am going to do banter with Bill tomorrow. Not sure what my topic's going to be, but I'm gonna do a banter with Bill because Friday I leave out to go on a 15-day cruise to Hawaii. So the cruise leaves out Saturday. I probably will be going live Saturday. I don't know what time. I'm going on Carnival Miracle. So 15 days. Scott, we got to talk about our show schedule because I know you said next Wednesday we may be busy, but I plan on having internet. I normally don't buy the internet for 2 weeks, but I think I'm gonna buy the internet for 2 weeks because I'm gonna try. I want to, since I have like about five sea days before we get to Hawaii, so I want to try to catch up on some of my vlogs and things like that. So I want to have the internet, but we can catch up on do our show, or I would do banter with Bill the following Thursday also. Other than that, I'm gonna try to keep a video coming out every Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern time.
Oh, your premieres.
So yep. So that if you haven't seen, I just put one out this past Monday. I believe that had to do with Ocean Key, maybe. I don't know. I just put one out. People go watch, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that you can be notified when I'm going live or putting out a new video.
Yes. And She Stole My Thunder has come in and said, hello, everyone. Hello.
Welcome in.
As for me, I am finishing up my Drunk Duck Discoveries, those shorts about finding all those ducks on the Carnival Jubilee. I am also finishing up some vlogs. I think I might be up to my trip home from Galveston. So stay tuned for a really good barbecue review and a fun ride that Richard and I took that is one of the only rainforest cafes in the United States that actually has this still left in it. So I'll leave that as a cliffhanger. As Warmstrong said, next week I do have a work obligation on Wednesday. I will be out pretty much all Wednesday. So we're going to talk about maybe doing a different day next week, just next week for our Cruise Talk Live, or we might cancel it all in total. Bill and I will talk about that, and then you will see that on our page for all of our trusty Cruise Talk Live followers. So we are definitely going to try our best to make it either another day, whether it's Tuesday or whether it's Friday. If one of those days actually works better for you guys other than the other, just put it in the comments for us so we can kind of see and gauge which day we want to kind of put our energy into for you guys. So again, I love doing this every week. I know Bill loves doing this every week. We both are not guys that like to cancel things or like to, not show up. for the people that want us to be here the most. So again, look forward to that on our community page. Again, we'll update you as soon as we can, and then I'll finish up my vlogs, and that's pretty much it.
Keep the shirts coming, Scott.
Keep That's right.
If you have not connected with Scott, make sure you do. Last time we checked, he was like 7 away from 500, right?
Yes, I believe seven
So
away from
connect with Scott. If you haven't connected with him, make sure you get out there and connect with him. And even if you think you are connected to him, check to make sure that YouTube did not take it away.
Yes, and I was on Traveling Fools the other day, and somehow or another we got me up to 502, but then I woke up and I had 491. So thank you, Traveling Fools. But I don't know if anybody that followed me actually stuck. So.
Well, they just hit the like button and then subscribe button, then didn't watch anything.
That's
But again, you don't need those people.
I don't want I want the people that my 493 people that are here now are pretty much people that watch my stuff.
Well, you get people that watch. Having people that don't watch is just a waste of time. I mean, we're not gonna go into a rant like that about that now. But again, having if you had 1,000 people and nobody watched, what good is it gonna do you? You're monetized with no views.
That's true.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We appreciate you, and we appreciate all of you guys. And until tomorrow, until we see Bill with Banter with Bill, and we'll see you guys next week. So
see you next week.
Bye, guys.